All right. So this message is for the divine masculines. If you are a female and you're watching this, you're more than welcome to stay and hear what majority of the masculines are going through. And by the way, it is because of you. So we're going to get into it. I've been feeling into this energy also for some time now. And I don't know as well if like anybody has got into it and talked about it. But if not, I mean, the divine definitely tapped me on the shoulder and was like, all right, do this message. And it's really funny because as I was like really feeling into this message and writing my notes down, I realized also just how connected it is to yesterday's message about divine unions coming in. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, everything actually seems to line up so beautifully. And I really do feel into like what the next message needs to be. I don't ever plan ahead. Sometimes I write things down, but again, I just feel into like what is really being called forward in like that particular date. So anyway, if you are a masculine, this is for you. And I do trust that if you're watching and you're here right now, this message is definitely for you. So it's not for every masculine, that's for sure, but it is for, I actually want to say, a majority of you. Like it's no longer just like a few, it's actually like a majority of you. And what I'm feeling with this, it's like it did start off with just a few of the masculines, but because more and more are waking up, it's causing a ripple effect along other masculines. So it's actually like it's starting to become like a bigger thing, which is amazing, amazing to see. So, yeah, more and more of you masculines are finally waking up. You're finally being tapped on the shoulder to to wake up and to heal your stuff and realize what is actually going on. Like you're being tapped on the shoulder to rise and finally step into your leadership and step into your empowerment of also like basically rising with the divine feminine, right? It's not rising above her, it's rising right beside her, which is what is happening. The reason that this is happening, though, I will say, is because of the divine feminines. We were always the ones leading the way to this shift, always. Again, remember, guys, it starts out energetic at first, right? So it might have not looked like the divine feminines might have been doing anything in leading this shift, but that's what has been happening. Because if you think about it, when spirituality started to be a thing, it was mostly just feminines being in that room and mostly feminines waking up, seeing through illusion and healing their inner wounds and traumas and demons within, right? Um, Again, there's always exceptions. I know that. I'm not speaking to like the rare few masculines that were always kind of like awake to all of this. I'm speaking to like the majority. The majority of you were asleep. Like, let's admit it. Let's, speak truth. Most of you were asleep. And that's fine. That's just a path that a lot of us were on and needed to take in order to wake up, heal, and remember our truth and why we're here and what we're supposed to do, right? So yeah, the feminine has been leading the way. I actually believe that's how it was supposed to be, of the feminine leading the way energetically, and a lot of feminines doing their inner work and healing, because the more that they have been doing that, the more that they have been coming into inner union with themselves. It's almost like it sends out an energetic signal to the masculines that are starting to question and starting to ponder and starting to like ask the deeper questions of, like, what's going on, how to heal within, etc., etc., etc. It sends out like a ripple to them and causes them to like finally start waking up and finally start healing from within, right? So more of you are starting to do that. You're coming into an inner union within yourself. So you have been releasing a lot of the past traumas, a lot of the past pain, and you've been healing a lot of things within yourself, even like beliefs within yourself. You've been releasing a lot of the distortion that you bought into when you were growing up in society, right? Like I'm even feeling like some of you may have been awake, and in terms of like you've had even like mystical things happen to you, but you never really understood it, right? Because again, the mystical and the unseen is the unknown, and it's like scary, right? And a lot of masculines want to like see things and make an understanding of them, and anything that has to do with like mystery or magic or depth usually is scary for you, because that requires you to fully surrender in that. And again, a lot of men just have trouble surrendering into that and being vulnerable, right? So for feminines, it's a lot easier for us to be vulnerable, to dive deep in the unknown and surrender and be super vulnerable in that. It's a lot easier for us. I'm not going to say it's, you know, like we have it swift. No, I mean, I even the last year took another journey into surrender, and I realized, oh my gosh, there's more levels and depths of surrender, and it's not an easy thing. Even as a feminine myself, which I usually have an easier time being vulnerable and leaning into surrender, right? I still had to do my own work on that, because I have found out there is no final level of surrender, by the way. There is no every time you think you get to the deepest level of surrender, guess what? There's way more. I don't think it ever stops. Like I've learned humility, because I remember last year I said something like, "Okay, I got surrender. I know how to surrender. I've learned how to surrender." And it's like the divine was like, mm, "Don't think that you've mastered this." And it like sent me another thing to like surrender to, and I was like, "Are you kidding me?" There's more levels to surrender, so it almost seems like it never ends. So I get that it's not easy. I totally get that it's not easy, and this is something that a lot of you men have been initiated in. Like you finally reached a breaking point in your journey, in your path, where you are like, okay, well, this sense of control, this need for control is not helping, and you had to really surrender into your own like psyche, in your own healing, because you have to be able to do that within before you could ever do that with another person, before you can actually reach that level of intimacy with another person. you have to be able to do that within yourself. If you can't do that within yourself, guess what? You will never reach the intimacy that you are looking for with another being, because you can never do that within yourself. So women have been doing that. Women have been diving even deeper, and which is why actually there has been so many women that have walked away from relationships that even were, or like that looked like they were perfect and good, but we're missing the depth, we're missing the presence, we're missing that level of intimacy, because those men still weren't initiated into their own healing and into their own depths of themselves. So a lot of women, which is, this is what I mean, that women have been leading the way. A lot of women have kind of woken up to their next level of healing, and they have been like, okay, like there's more levels to this, and they're not finding it within the relationship, so they had to walk away and continue their healing and continue to like unravel themselves. And by the way, I just saw 1111 when I was talking about that, so that to me reflects inner and outer union, by the way, which is essentially what we're talking about. Because if you want real outer union, the type of outer union that you crave for, you have to find it within yourself first. You'll never find it in another person if you've never done it within yourself first. You'll crave it. There'll be so many times where you'll be like, why do I feel like there's more to this relationship than it's giving me? And it's because you yourself haven't found that inner union. You yourself haven't gone deep into your own healing, into your own darkness, into your own transformation and transmutation. Because once you do that, again, you'll find it within another. You will find it within another. So that's why I'm saying like women have led the way, because a lot of women have left relationships that have looked almost perfect on the outside. Again, this connects with my message from yesterday about like these buffer relationships, right? They have walked away from that, gone into deeper levels of healing, because again, this is the time now. Like literally, this is the time that we are living in now, where we're all being tapped on the shoulder by the divine, and it's like, it's time now. Like things are changing in this world, and we are being called to a higher mission, to a higher purpose. And in order to do this higher mission and purpose, we have had to heal and transmute our own stuff. So, again, like I said, a lot of women have initiated that path. It's always been that way. I believe that's just how it was supposed to be. Because, again, we just lived in a very unhealthy masculine dominated world, right? To restore balance is to come back to the feminine, but not where it's just feminine, right? It's the union of both, the balance and harmony of both the masculine and the feminine. So again, be like kind of like what I said, because the women, a lot of women, again, it's not going to be every person. I get that. I know. Um, a lot of women have gone on their own journey and healed a lot of their own distortions, like that next level of healing. It caused a ripple effect in the masculines to start doing the same. And what I'm understanding is that actually a lot of men now are catching up to women. They are actually starting to catch up to women because it was initiated by women, and it was like an initiation call for men to rise up, catch up, meet a lot of the women at their level, because it is, yeah, it is about also coming into this union with these women, because you guys are being called for a higher mission, for a higher calling, for a higher purpose. Again, like I truly trust that, quote, like, whoever's watching, you guys know that there's a shift happening. You guys know that this world is undergoing a change. Like, it's releasing the old layers, the old skin, the old identity, and we're coming into a new world. But in order to create this world, this new world, it's like the people who have done a lot of healing distortion can see through illusion, and like they know what's happening. We are also being called to rise up, right? And create the change that we wish to see and experience, and also to help others when they start waking up and needing space and guidance in order for them to heal. Because I'm sure you know, and I'm speaking both to the divine masculines and feminines watching, I'm sure you know that your healing journey was not easy. To clear distortion from yourself, to heal and release trauma, it is not easy. And to wake up to certain truths, for a lot of people, that is not easy. So they're going to need someone who's been able to walk through their own fires and depths to be able to hold space and guide them in their own journey. So, yeah, more and more masculines are waking up. I'm just reading what I wrote because, again, there was a lot coming through. And then I also did a spread where I just wanted to see and like get a confirmation of what I was feeling, and it was very much on point, which I actually brought some of the cards to like show you, because it's just been beautiful, really. Yeah, so the divine masculines are balancing their feminine and masculine energies within, and they're reclaiming their own sovereignty and stepping into a more powerful and empowered role. And yeah, like revival. So like you've shedded a lot of the old identity, the old masks, the old like pain and trauma. And again, this is like the phoenix rising. This is you. This is you. You are rising into the emperor, the one who is grounded, the one who knows who he is because he's been forged in the fire. And you're rising up to be this stable emperor where you have balanced your divine feminine energies and divine masculine energies. Okay, remember, it's about balance, not about one energy being better than the other. No, it's about balance, self mastery. You've come into that self mastery within yourself. A lot of you are there, and a lot of you are actually reaching this point. And again, this is not about ego, this is more about like, you have tasted the fire, you have been forged by the fire, literally. And what I was getting with this was, for some of you, not all of you, but some of you, you're still fighting. You may still be fighting with a certain belief or version of yourself that you might not want to let go of, right? Because this to me is like the old self and the new self fighting with each other, and almost like the old identity not wanting to be let go of yet, right? And to tell you the truth, I've actually been through that. I had to go through that, where there was, it's like when we get closer to shedding our old layers, we come closer to the truth of our being, the old will do one last kind of fight, and it gets harder. So some of you actually may be going through this right now, where you're like, it's been really hard to shed the old, but you need to. You need to, because this is who you're being called to become, the emperor. And yeah, the destiny card also came out. So to me, it was like, this is all about divine timing and how this is happening, because it is time now. Like, because this is time for a lot of us and a lot of the divine masculines to rise up and again become this emperor, the phoenix rising. Like, this is who you are becoming, and a lot of you have reached that level of self mastery and have become the emperor. And yeah, the healing card also came out, which that to me, this to me was like, yeah, you've done a lot of healing, and also there's like this inner sage in you that has so much wisdom now, that understands who you are, what you're here to do, and that the divine feminine needs your protection. Like, and I'm not saying this to like disempower feminines, no, but that is the balance. The masculine is here to protect the feminine, to protect the feminine consciousness, to protect the feminine consciousness within yourself as well, right? Because again, we feminines do that with ourselves. Our inner masculine is supposed to protect our inner feminine, right? And yeah, it's like you're stripping away that youthful side to you. But this to me was also like new horizons, stepping into that new identity as well. And there were two cards I wanted to read because I thought they were perfect because they also came out. The Akashic Records, clearing old stories, releasing past life and freedom, which again, you're releasing past identities and healing trauma. And then Crystal Skull Wisdom, clarity, divine healing, high vibrational energy, which again is like clearing the distortion, coming into, who you're being called to be. And I actually was called to read these cards because I thought it'll resonate with a lot of you. So the Akashic Records. When you draw this card, the universe is releasing you from past experiences. These can be soul-based memories, fears from previous lifetimes, or older aspects of this current lifetime that you have moved on from. Know that this is the time to reclaim your freedom and rewrite your story. You can do this by following through on your dreams. Gone are the days of fear-based indecision. This is the time to rise up and claim your truth. If you are sitting on a dream or are feeling called to move in a particular direction, it is because you have unearthed an important soul lesson, and it is essential for you to follow the call and to clear unwanted energies of your past. As you do so, don't allow yourself to be pulled into expecting the worst outcome possible. Know that this expectation is not your truth, but an old energy being released from your energy body. Call in angels to shine their light on any repressed fears, energies, or stories that are no longer serving you. It's time to fly high in freedom. And like, kind of like I was saying, how you were like battling with an old version of yourself, this is what it's talking about. Just releasing that. It's time to release that and move into your truth, into your power, into reclaiming yourself. Like, it's so interesting how like the feminine is reclaiming herself, but so are men. And I also wanted to read this one, Crystal Skull Wisdom. I'm kind of rushing because I don't want my phone to stop. But so all aspects of your life are becoming clearer at this time. Expect to become aware of what you need to step away from to have a more focused path. You may have felt indecisive, but now you are downloading direct guidance from the heart of source so that you can live and express yourself in a more authentic way. Know that downloads often appear as your own inner guidance, encouraging you to move forward. The key is to recognize the calmness they bring. This is a time of clarity and connection. Crystal Skull Wisdom is here to bring clarification to what you have been receiving within. In order for the next phase of your journey to unfold, you must follow the information you have received. You know what you need to do to heal and grow. If you've been asking for a sign that the healing work you have been doing has been successful, trust that this card is the message you have been waiting for. Like, you guys are rising up, and I think that's so beautiful and powerful. And as a feminine, like, I'm excited to see this because we need you. Like, we truly need you. I get there was this like distorted feminine of like, self-empowerment, etc., which is beautiful on one hand, but let's be honest, we need the masculine as well. We can't do this just on our own. Yin and yang, right? Masculine feminine energies coming together in union. But again, that needs to happen within so that we can experience it without, right? And bring the harmony and balance back on this earth and in society. So you guys are just getting clearer on your mission, on your purpose. And I'm like, again, because of that, you are calling in your divine counterpart to help you with this mission and purpose. Um, yeah, still pay attention to anything internal that you are avoiding in yourself that needs to be witnessed and integrated within. So, again, some of you are in the final stages of this healing and ending a cycle and chapter in your life. So, just see what needs to be released as well. And some of you have already closed and have come into this energy, the Emperor. Yeah, I feel like that's pretty much it. And I wrote a line down because I was like, wow, okay, this resonates. When the divine feminine rises, it's to call the divine masculine home, not to her, but to himself. And I'll just mention quickly the numbers that were coming up. So master number 33 was coming up, 6, 9, and 1. So maybe those numbers resonate with you, but basically 33, you're being trained to lead others by example, to walk with divine integrity. 6, balance, responsibility, and healing the heart and calling in divine sacred union. 9, which is all about completion, wisdom, and service, end of an old identity, and stepping into your soul's higher mission. Number 1, new beginnings, leadership, self mastery, and it's time to reclaim your sovereignty. So I'm going to end it there, like I said, before it stops. Surprised I've gone this long, but I guess this was a message that was needed to be released. Yeah, let me know how this resonated with you. Again, I have my Akashic reading record report and my heart mapping session and my tip jar just below in the description. If you guys feel called to check that out, or if you feel called to leave like anything, if this message really touched your heart. Other than that, again, your support in subscribing, liking, and commenting means the most to me as well. Yeah, anyway, I'm gonna end this here, like I said, because I don't want it to just like stop. Alrighty, I hope this message resonated with you, and I'll see you all on the next one. Bye.